You want to know what I love the most about music? Well, for starters, absolutely everything. That's why we had to get going on this project, my friend. So there's a milestone that we hit, man, and I gotta introduce it in this video. And so it turns out, on May 27th, I sent you the following text here. Heads up, boy. I sent you some material to chew on. Just gotta get tangled up in strings at Gmail, of course. Hee hee. So what did we chew on first? Well, I think we had a couple of ideas about the Middle Ages, and so we talked about a knight and maybe a squire. I think we had a cook, a little bit of ayahuasca, or maybe it was a secret sauce of sorts. I'm not quite sure. Either way, we were making a lot of stories, writing character sheets, writing emails to each other. It was email after email after email, pages after pages after pages. It started getting a little hairy there, and so we even came up with a really cool way of how we were going to correspond our thoughts. All right, so now we're starting to cook up some really good conversations. Things about jamming and storytelling and building these places and breathing life into these characters that we're making. And of course, the best way to go about sharing our information is either by phone call or email after email after email, pages after pages after pages. So we get to this point where I'm starting to play around with Hansel and Gretel in the forest, and you're out planting beanstalks over to the giant's doorway. Did you get my email? Hey man, did you get my email? Hey man, did you get my email? All right, stop. So we gotta find a way to manage all of these conversations. So let's introduce a little thing we like to call Trello. So we're not even a month into this project and you send me the following text. Hey buddy, just a screenshot to set some bait for Sunday. I've designed a Trello board, built in current priorities and added some docs and worked out strategy. Well, good for you, man. Got us going, got us straight, and now we're starting to build what I think we like to call the idea making machine. Oh yeah. It's almost as if we're building our own platform portal and perhaps a market square one day. It's kind of funny how we started off this project thinking it was going to be about music, but the first couple of months it was pretty much just us bullshitting, philosophizing, and writing stories, really. Dude, so I just came up with this awesome song. It's about an accountant. Hey man, I gotta tell you about this song I wrote. It's called The Other. Hey, you remember that song we used to play in the CG? So What? Yeah, well, I kind of thought of maybe making that a 3-part song. Hey man, I got a real gift for you. Tallarico's Mannequins. Alright, this is a gang that I've written for you, buddy. Alright, cool, so we're getting all these tunes, but how the heck are we going to manage all this stuff in Trello? I mean, we gotta have some sort of procedure or system in place, right? Well, luckily there was a write-up for this, a write-up for that, a write-up for this, and a write-up for that. So there's all the emails, and all of the templates, and all of the character sheets, and all of the writing, and the procedures, and the systems. It's like we're creating our own little language. Like we traveled out and we found this distant land that had this amazing language that we bring back with us, and all we want to do is just share it. And let me let you in on a little bit of a secret. We are going to get the chance to share all of this, because I do believe that we both renounce and sadly see that where word breaks off, no thing may be. Alright dude, what do you think about this MK Ultra? Hey man, can I tell you a little bit about Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer? You remember Mr. McKeon and Wally, right? Yeah, I think those characters would like to pop around this Bardeer world. Alright man, so I got this crazy idea about these magic users, right? So we could have these magicians find out how to actually use real magic. So there's like maybe an illusionist and a spiritualist, or like a necromancer. We can have all these specialties, right? You know, the sleight of hand, or like a rogue or something, or a druid. We could probably like have a druid and a sorcerer and a mage, and they can all have these special skills and abilities. That would be really, really cool. All right. So we got to start laying down some tracks. So Will decides, hey Scotty, brother man, I ran out and bought a Focusrite Scarlett 2i bundle. Right on for you, buddy. I gotta get myself one of those too. All right, so we got the Scarlett. Well, let's start picking up some more gear. And while we're at it, let's just start creating some pretty sweet spaces, right? So we're getting to the point where we're starting to pick up a little bit of gear. And along the way, there's a pretty important piece of gear that we pick up that I like to call Logic Pro X. Oh my gosh, this stuff is off the chain, man. I mean, I turned into a technical writing madman by writing this and 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 probably hundreds of more pages worth of anything you need to know about Logic. And even though I've done all of these write-ups, I feel like it's exploring outer space in this program. I've only touched just a tiny little bazillionth of a percent of all the capabilities that it has, obviously. But you know something? We're gonna go where no musician has ever gone before. Well, I know I named a few songs, but here, let me just get the computer out and start naming some of these. I mean, we got Fingers theme song, Little Bit of Love, Mama Who, Sunblind, Straight Lines, Sailing the Wheel of Giles, Scherzando, Mr. Right, Porter's Hollow. I mean, what the hell else are we going to be coming up with next? This is just incredible. You know what's really cool about all this? We've written all these songs and we've actually met quite a bit of friends along the way, right? So of course we got our dirty boy Mark Ribier and our man Michael Palmisano, Jacob Collier, of course, our piano freak, and of course, last but not least, probably the most important friend and most influential of all of them, Mr. Dean Summerwind.
And I parked out by the lake, 80 miles from Santa Fe. It's the lake that's bald, where I'm at, out by the lake.
Dude, fuck me, man. Do you remember where that guy parked? All right, let me get the computer back out and announce some of these final counts here. So, as of 1 year into this project, we have 25 tunes that are on the wing and counting. We have 33 characters, half of them in which have character sheets already, and they are starting to grow and develop. We have 18 write-ups, that includes all of the Logic production files, and we also have a handful of procedures and systems in place. We're even starting to talk about adding things like, I don't know, a podcast maybe, some video elements maybe. Of course, we've talked about marketing and, you know, we'll get there when we get there, but the fact is with 1 year under our belt, I'm more than excited about what's going to be coming. If you were to ask me what I love most about this project, I'd have to tell you absolutely everything. So it's been good, man. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think it's good that we recap what we've done, where we're planning on going, and what we can look forward to. So anyhow, much loves, man. I'll talk to you soon.